Alrighty, having lived in Mytilene for some time now, I have realized that the roads are kinda dogshit to be honest. So I'm gonna talk to some people, see what they think, and maybe come to some fucking conclusions. Let's see. So essentially, I will be interviewing four people for this little podcast project thingamajig, and I'm gonna hear them out, see what they tell me, and then just talk about a conclusion because I cannot open Word, so I cannot really write a script, and I'm kind of pissed off, and it's 1 o'clock right now. Alrighty, so have you ever been run over by a car in Mytilene?
I can't count the times I almost have, but no. But that's a miracle.
What do you think about the streets here?
I think they're not built for the size, amount of cars, or the temperament of the drivers.
Oh, the temperament of the drivers. Do you drive?
Yes.
What about the temperament? Can you tell me?
Well, I'm English, and since my mum's seen me driving here, she says I can never drive in the UK again. I think that sums it up.
Oh god, why is that?
Because they're crazy.
So, any other near-death experiences that you have had here?
I've nearly crashed a lot of times because if mopeds and motorbikes don't respect the laws of overtaking, so they will go from the wrong side, they will go over the pavement, and suddenly you're having to push your brakes on to stop you crashing into someone.
Damn, so the drivers here do be crazy indeed. Could it be the layout of the roads, or do you think it's just shitty driving culture?
I think it's a vicious circle. I think it creates a kind of mad person.
You heard it here, folks, a vicious circle that creates kind of a mad person. What a way to end off the first interview, by calling the drivers here mad. Let's see what other people have to say. However, I did not have the cohesion and foresight to make this properly, so let's see how good it sounds in the end, shall we? So, Vicky, do you drive?
No, and I choose not to drive.
My girl, I love that. Now, what do you think about the streets in Mytilene in general?
I think that they're something like ancient. I think there's lots to be done with the roads. There is no the constructions are since I don't know, since forever, you know.
So, literally ancient constructions since the minus 300.
Yes, agree.
Alright, have you ever been or witnessed or close to an accident?
I am lucky and I've never been to, and I've never experienced such thing, because I choose to, to walk.
Yeah, but even when walking, plenty of times I've been almost run over.
I think that, you have to be really careful when you're walking at the streets of Mytilene. Sometimes I choose to walk and hearing some music, but I always watch behind or, right or left, because you don't know when someone crazy will hit your stuff.
Talking about craziness, what do you think about the drivers here?
I think that maybe they got their license by accident, or I don't know. The things here in Mytilene are it's like I can imagine in ancient Greece they were driving they had better rules than now.
And they didn't even have cars back then.
And then they didn't have cars. They had mules or horses or stuff like this. So yes.
And they didn't even have cars back then. Kinda reminds me of the scene of a boy who didn't even bargain. I'm Amelie, and I'm doing these interviews about the roads of Mytilene. First question is, do you drive?
No, I don't drive.
Have you ever been in an accident in these streets or witnessed one?
Here in Mytilene, no. But
So, have you ever been close to a car accident or something similar?
here in Mytilene, no, I haven't witnessed an accident. But as
Pedestrian? Pedestrian, pesos.
Ah, yes. With a dog, I can understand how difficult it is to walk in the streets.
Why do you say that? What has happened?
There are no sidewalks, and the drivers are very fast.
My previous interview did say that they're lunatics.
Lunatics, yes, they drive like lunatics, and they're on hurry, and I don't understand why. And they drive like they don't care about the people that they're walking.
Yeah. And one last question. What do you think about the streets in Mytilene?
The streets in Mytilene, walking in Mytilene,
Yeah.
because Mytilene is a very beautiful place to walk around and to explore things and buildings, especially walking with a dog. But the problem is that the accessibility and the fact that the drivers are not careful, it's make it
Difficult.
make it difficult to walk around. Or it's a no, it's a very beautiful place to drive a bike, to have a bike. But the fact that the drivers are not careful,
Makes it dangerous?
it's the fact that you don't you can't have a bike here. It's sad.
Alrighty, thank you. Lunatic drivers and essentially no sidewalks kinda does create a very bad cycle, especially if the drivers aren't, careful. So we're gonna move on to the last interview, and I am not editing the dog sounds out. Last interview is somebody who I happen to know for quite some time and to be quite comfortable with, so I am gonna coax out stories that I already know. So, Yatam, do you drive?
Yes,
What do you think about the streets in Mytilene in general?
they're terrible.
Wow, straight to the point. Amazing. Have you ever been witnessed or generally in the vicinity of accident, either by walking or by car?
Does it have to be like...
It doesn't need to be strictly dangerous. It could have been a very close call, but you know what I mean.
Yes. Do you need me to elaborate?
I mean, I would like you to.
Well, my car has been bumped several times by other cars.
I think once I was in your car when it was bumped, when we got rear-ended by this one driver after the supermarket.
Exactly. Either I was in the car or not in the car. My car's also been rear-ended when I was parked. So yeah.
What about yourself, like,
My
by walking?
Once a car ran over my foot.
Holy shit, that's the toughest one I've had yet.
Not really fast, just I was walking on the main market street which people walk on, it's like a normal thing, and there was a car passing by kind of slowly but also not super slowly, and the car basically just, I was in flip-flops by the way, and the car basically just drove on top of my foot.
Alright, and one last question to finish things off. What do you think about the drivers here?
Worst drivers in all of Greece. Worst drivers in all of Greece.
Alright, that works. So, we have reached kind of a consensus that we're gonna elaborate more in part 2. When or if that ever happens, we're gonna talk to some experts and stuff and see the city planning, because there's a deeper root to the cause. You heard it here that no pavements, people want to drive, let's say, a bicycle, but they kinda scared. Like, there's a lot of issues in the roads over here, so we need to find out actually why and maybe come up with possible solutions in episode 2 and 3, maybe. Let's see.